Okay, now for this question about the registered nurse and the fluids, what we noticed was soup has 150 milliliters of fluid, milk is 240, Jello is 120, and popsicle is 90. And the question tells us there were 2 bowls of soup, 1 cup of milk, 1 serving of Jello, and 1 popsicle. Okay? But when I read it, and I'll read it to you, the question says, by how much does the output exceed the intake? So right away, you should assume that the output, which is 800 milliliters, based on how the question is written, you should assume that the output is more than the intake. So when we do our calculations, we'll probably end up with an answer of less than 800, and that's kind of how we make sense of the questions. So we had 2 bowls of soup, so that would be 150 plus 150. We had 1 milk, that would be 240. 1 Jello, 120, and a popsicle, which is 90. Okay. Now, if you're doing without a calculator, you may choose to do it this way. And add them in columns. Okay. But either way you do it, it looks like we're going to get 300, 540, 660, 750. It looks like I'm going to get 750 milliliters, right? And that would make sense because 750 milliliters would be less than the output, and based on how the question's written, that's what they're saying. So it says, how much does the output exceed the input? So we have an output of 800, and we have an input of 750. And if we create some space here, there we go. All we need to do is take 800 and subtract 750. 0 minus 0 is 0. Well, technically we got to move this over and make this 10. 10 minus 5 is 50, and we get 50, not 56. Right? So what you have a word problem. Therefore, you need to answer it with a statement. Therefore, the output exceeds the input by 50 milliliters. Important to use the units, right? Because it wasn't just 50, it's actually 50 milliliters that we're talking about. Anytime you have a word problem, just a reminder, you need to end a word problem not by saying 50, but by actually answering the question. So in this case, the output exceeds the input by 50 milliliters.